It's Wednesday, December 18th, 2019, and I'm Dave Sobel. 3 things to know today. IoT and blockchain, together like peanut butter and jelly. How much money does Amazon make on Alexa? And targeted online attacks against those with epilepsy. This is the business of tech. Gartner has announced some metrics on the integration of Internet of Things systems and blockchain. It's a thing. 75% of organizations who've adopted IoT have already merged the two, or plan to do so within the next year. The number is 89% when measured over 2 years. Gartner's findings state that the top reasons for the integrations are, quote, increased security and trust in shared multi-party transactions and data, end quote. Why do we care? First, let's baseline who answered. Respondents had to be manager or above and have primary involvement and responsibility for making decisions at IoT implementation, and the companies had to be implementing IoT. That's not a lot of organizations, not by a long shot. And respondents to a Gartner survey are likely to not be an actual cross-section of implementers at large. Thus, if considering the entire marketplace, I doubt it's this widespread. The useful nugget here is that IoT and blockchain are very useful together. This does make logical sense, as this is one of the many places blockchain technology works really well. I've been a proponent of voice as a UI for a while, and for many, that immediately jumps to thinking of voice assistants like Amazon's Echo line. Per data from The Information, Amazon apparently earned $1.4 million in Alexa skill revenue in the first 10 months of 2019, short of their goal of $5.5 million. This is revenue Amazon earns from in-skill purchases where consumers pay for added features of Alexa skills from third-party developers. Why do we care? This method of revenue generation is just one way Amazon can monetize Alexa. Developers that sell products via Alexa or use Amazon Pay or account linking are not in these numbers, nor are any freemium models. Amazon's own device sales are not in these numbers either, nor is any add-on effect like Amazon Music, Prime membership loyalty, or the like. The Alexa platform is more than just this line of revenue, and Amazon is known for its long play moves. This shows they just haven't quite cracked the code yet here. It's also important to separate voice assistants from voice as a UI. Voice as an interaction model with devices is the idea of improving the experience of using technology via voice interaction. Voice assistants are a specific implementation of that, and Alexa is simply one brand of that. With voice recognition moving as fast as it is, it's logical that this is going to still happen, and voice as a UI is a real thing. The Epilepsy Foundation has lodged a criminal complaint and is calling for an investigation of the use of Twitter to target and attack people with epilepsy. The attack uses seizure-inducing videos, aimed specifically at those with epilepsy, and has been using the foundation's own Twitter handle and hashtag to find those individuals. These attacks also come specifically during National Epilepsy Awareness Month. About 3% of people with epilepsy have photosensitive epilepsy, making them susceptible to this kind of attack. Why do we care? I've been reporting a number of different kinds of cybersecurity attacks as they're becoming more and more common, so I'm looking for the ones that stand out for being notably different. The use of the state of emergency reported in New Orleans on Monday was an example. This story is the kind of attacks we're seeing more and more of and shows the kind of specific targeting that's happening now online. Attacks are not random nor purely in bulk, but instead specifically targeting individuals. We see this in spear phishing, such as the targeted attacks on governments last week. I'll make my Black Mirror call to technologists again. You need to start considering how technology would be weaponized and used against people and ensure there are methods for dealing with it. In the spirit of offering solutions rather than just problems, that doesn't mean moderation is the only solution. If identity was linked to tweets, it would be possible to trace back to the attackers and prosecute. The impetus is to think more broadly about how technology would be used by those that intend to do harm, and anticipate as much as you can. In many cases, it doesn't appear that was even considered, and thus the current state. Episode 38 of the Killing It podcast is out. First topic, disruptions, what it means to have a market disrupted. Moving on to driverless deliveries and the invasion of the robots. And finally, Splinternet. What does it mean that the internet is beginning to segment? 3 topics, 3 hosts, 30 minutes, and 1 focus on making money in IT. Download the podcast today on your favorite podcatcher. Thanks for listening to The Business of Tech. As a public service announcement for fans of The Mandalorian, the new episode dropped today to avoid conflicting with Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which does come out tomorrow. Looking forward to talking to you all with more news tomorrow, and thank you for listening.